What's up, Ground Level Youth YouTube? We are super excited with this video here. We have our graduated 2023 seniors that were a part of this video. We asked them some great questions. They gave some great answers. We hope you are able to learn a lot from their life lessons. Enjoy this video.
And then it would just get silly. Like it would be,
can I get a skillet-diddly-dee?
And the crowd would be like,
skillet-diddly-dee.
like,
That was the OG days of the convention trade.
but it was fun. Like,
So we had some of our parents. We were at the long jump.
so are we ready?
Yeah.
No, we're good to go.
Hey, did that die?
No, it's good.
What was it? What was it?
Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Let's turn it off and back on again, and we're just gonna hope it's fine.
We're like,
Like the camera's not working.
now we have to actually be
Maybe
official.
not.
So,
I'm recording.
alright, we're gonna start.
We have more.
3,
We don't have that
2,
many
1.
cameras.
That's so that I can line that sound up with the thing. So 3, 2, 1. Thanks everybody for being here. Super excited for this video. Y'all are not.
I didn't know you were gonna start. You said it's casual.
3, 2, 1.
Action.
Action. Alright. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys. Super excited for the video. This is our Ground Level Youth Senior Advice video. We're super excited for this. We have all across here, as you can see, Catalyst Tees. Shout out to Catalyst. Provided us free tea. And very good, very tasty, even like in these new lid style they got.
It's like an emoji.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Get you some Catalyst in Dunkin'. But we're going to jump right into some questions because these seniors, I think, really have some great advice for anybody who's watching, anybody who's listening. They have all been a part of church for many years. They have all been through a lot of different things in their life. I mean, many of them, if we did their testimonies individually, they would have great testimonies. But they're going to be able to tell you some great things, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing this at the same time. So what we want to do, we're going to start over here with Bubba, and we want to have everybody introduce themselves, tell them what your name is, what school you went to, and even where you plan to go to college.
So, I'm Bubba, or Emery, whichever one you know me by. I went to Duncan, and I plan on attending Oklahoma State. Okay.
My name's Gina. Am I supposed to look at
You can look wherever you want.
the Okay, cut that out.
I don't think so.
It's all right.
My name's Gina. What was I supposed to say?
Your
Where you
name
went to
is
school.
Gina.
Okay.
Where you went to school,
Cut all that
who
out.
you are.
Okay.
We probably won't cut it out, but it'll be funny. I'll cut it out if you hate it.
Okay. Well, my name's Gina. I went to Duncan, and I'm going to OSU in the fall.
My name's Brighton, and I went to Comanche, and I'm going to play softball at Murray State. Go Aggies!
Yeah.
I guess go Aggies. Yeah, of course. Brighton's going.
Exactly.
My name is Kinley. I went to Comanche, and I'm going to be attending OU in the fall.
Only one.
My name is Emily. I went to Duncan and I will be attending UCO in the fall.
Yeah.
Roll chose.
What is this?
I can't even do it right.
No, I didn't even know Roll Shows was a thing.
It looks like a horseshoe.
It's supposed to be
Probably.
like a sideways C is how they taught us to do it at orientation. It's like
this.
What is the light bulb in?
Wait, what is
Pretty
it?
much, yeah.
What is
That's
it?
their
I
sign.
have no idea. It's
Oh,
like our
it's
hand
like
signature.
All you know if you know OU is this.
It's like,
Yeah, literally.
No.
Right?
yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Every now and then, a while, you get the doubles. All right.
Doubles.
Oh wait, I never said go Pokes.
Go Pokes! That's not
We're
big deal.
definitely editing that part.
That's
Yeah, we don't need
No
that.
one's gonna no. Okay. I'm JC and I went to Duncan and I'm going to OU Boomer Sooner. Boomer.
I'm Cade White. I'm going to Kansas Wesleyan University for football.
Yeah.
Roll Yotes.
Wait, how do you do
Hey,
it?
man, look at Kyle.
Also known as Quiet Coyote.
Hey, guys, Texas sign,
Quiet Coyote.
Is it like
and
this?
then roll the fingers down.
Is this right?
Yeah.
Like
What
that?
is a bulldog?
Why does it say no?
My pinky doesn't work like that.
Why does it
It kind of
hurt?
hurts.
It's like a
It's
coyote.
serious,
It
and you
kind
got
of
the
hurts
smell.
my
It
fingers.
really, like my hand doesn't bend like that.
Neither does mine.
Emily's struggling.
All right, 3, 2,
All of the
1. Best
colors
coyote
and
you can
signs.
make.
Yeah.
Wait,
Alright.
that's coyote?
That's-
No,
All right,
that's not
really
coyote.
quick.
Coyote, y'all.
Really quick. Let's get in with a couple fun questions. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Super strength.
100%.
Super strength.
So the
Invisibility.
strongest guy in the ability to fly, so I never have to get into like a car ever again.
I would like to.
We've got some speeding ticket PTSD. Not me.
Invisibility.
Yes,
That would be
invisibility.
cool.
I feel like I would use invisibility to like obviously. I don't know if I could.
Invisible.
Be
Like,
invisible.
to be
Yeah,
invisible.
you can, like, I just don't know if I could like have that power and be a good guy still.
Yeah.
I just
Wow.
don't.
No,
I just
I
don't.
agree with that.
you go teleportation over.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
teleportation.
I think Kate's got
I think
one
it'd
there.
be easier to be better with
Teleportation
Yeah.
is fine because you could go anywhere.
I mean,
Yeah, but like if you teleport
I wish
into
I
a room
could
and they're
be
talking
like
about you, they're
the
gonna
one
stop
girl-
talking
Like, you
about
could
you.
tell- I was
But if
saying,
you're
like,
invisible,
teleport.
they're gonna keep talking about you.
What?
Glitch. She's got the glitch.
I wish my superpower was
I
a
could teleport.
glitch.
Or I could
Glitch.
teleport
So
to
everyone-
Paris,
because
though,
everyone
you know,
thinks
get
I'm-
some pigs, go home.
No,
Alright, so-
misunderstood.
Anybody else superpower? What it would be and why? Anybody got one they didn't throw in?
Also, reading minds sounds cool.
I don't think
No.
I'm
Reading
reading
minds
I
would be
used
pretty
I
cool
don't
too.
read way
But
too
that's
much
why I'm
into
like, yeah,
everything.
I don't
so
wanna
that
know.
would not be healthy for me.
That is
So-
actually probably that. It probably would be
Now,
good.
tell
No girl
us,
needs to be able to read minds.
tell us if you will, your most embarrassing moment that you're willing to share.
Mine's every day of my life. I live embarrassing moment to embarrassing moment, so I've just learned to embrace it, and it makes life more fun.
Yeah, then you don't have any embarrassing moments.
Exactly.
Everybody's embarrassed.
They can't laugh at you if you're laughing with them.
Yep, that is true. Oh, she looks around. Wow.
Mine's probably whenever I got pulled over for my brother, and I literally only been driving like a month. I forgot to turn my headlights back on. Actually, no, my most embarrassing moment is probably whenever I was at Brahms and I like just forgot to use my legs whenever I was getting out of the booth and I just fell on them. Like,
You're
who
like,
does
"I'm
that?
asleep."
No, like they weren't even asleep. Like I just forgot to like stand up and I just like fell out of the booth.
That's
embarrassing.
awesome. Especially on that floor. You probably slid a couple yards.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that my
Gross.
brain seems to remember to use my legs for me.
Yeah, well, good for you.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. So let's jump into some school questions. What would you guys say would be the highlight of your school career?
Graduating.
I'm gonna agree on that one.
Yeah.
I think it's hard just being stuck in the same place for like 4
With the
years.
same people
Yeah.
for 14
You're just
years.
ready to
How
get
many years
out.
is that? Yeah, 14 years.
14.
I have
With
to
the
say,
same people.
I think that the highlight. I know that
High
this.
school was a good experience.
I loved
I
high school
enjoyed it.
too.
It's been a lot of fun.
It was
had a
Mr.
lot
and Mrs. CHS right here. We
Yeah.
liked high
Had a
school.
lot, had a lot of
Mr.
fond
Mrs.
memories. I feel like I did a lot of good for the town.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
My
agree. Kate.
philanthropy was on point. All 14 years. Is
What's
that the right word?
philanthropy?
Yeah,
Philanthropy.
What is
Philanthropy?
philanthropy.
I don't know what that means.
I can already see this. Like I'm gonna put the word right here while you're trying to say it.
Philanthropy.
That's
Can we
good.
get a definition?
Philanthropy.
Yeah.
What was it? Philanthropy.
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 Moving on.
Philanthropy.
It means I give back to the community.
It means I give
We're
back.
keeping this in.
I think
Alright.
that
I
even though
liked
it
going to
sounds,
state.
Yeah,
that's
going to
good.
state.
I think that even though it sounds like cliche, I think that like I don't know, being a part of this church, like that was like probably one of the best things. I don't know, just like
It was
always
the
having
only
a good group.
continuous highlight. Was
Yeah, yeah, like
Yeah.
everything else
Yeah.
was like
It was always something to look
Up
forward
and
to,
down.
like,
yeah.
yeah. I feel like mine, like if it was like actually that's good, kind of one of mine. But then if it's actually just like in high school is whenever I got to like share my testimony, like because that was like the first time I actually shared my testimony in front of a lot of people. Like people
Yeah.
knew kind of my story, some, but I don't know, it was cool. But yeah.
Yep.
So, thinking back to middle school, what ways do you think differently? Like, what's changed? How do you see life now compared to middle school?
I'm glad we all grew
Oh,
up.
middle school.
Yeah.
What did I say?
I don't care as much about
I'm
people's
still
opinions.
like
Yeah.
facts. I feel like you hit a
That's
point, like
same.
eventually, like in your high school career. Most
Like,
people do, some people don't. But most people hit that point in their like high school career, like they're like, oh, I don't really care what other people think. I think in middle school it's a lot of like trying to
Yeah.
please different people.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, I didn't go to church in middle school.
Yeah.
Middle school wasn't a point in time. Like I was in FCA and stuff, but I was never avidly going to church. It's like,
Yeah.
We're a cultural Christian.
what does that mean?
If you went to Sunday school,
We have a whole
You hear
book
about it.
covering Sunday school, but it basically in middle school a lot of times you keep up. You're trying to fit in.
Trying to
Fit in. You're trying to
Never
get
heard
to
a
that.
cuss word
Yeah,
until middle school.
trying to get to that next
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
It was shocking.
You mature really fast in middle school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Sure,
Bodak
very
Yellow
fast.
into the picture.
It's like we're all 12 now and we cuss. That's what it's like.
Yeah,
Like a
so
song.
high schoolers are kissing on the top of the stairs.
Yes.
I
my
told on them.
gosh.
Yes, I did.
Do you see what they're doing over there?
Bro, it's even worse
Brian
than
was that
that.
sixth
Well,
grader.
especially at convention because the high schoolers go to the same lunchroom as you, and
Yes.
so it's like everybody's kind of mixed in. It's an experience.
That's
Oh,
a
that's
It's an
NASA.
experience.
It's like a fruit Caesar salad.
Yeah. What?
What?
Exactly.
That sounds
We're
horrible.
all kinda like exactly. It was
We're
horrible.
gonna cut that out right there.
Edit.
So, what advice would you give those watching on how to navigate middle school and high school? So, what advice would you have?
Have your morals and stick to them. I think that I think a lot of people change their morals throughout their life,
Yeah.
in middle school and even into high school. And I think if you set your morals at an early age, it'll have you set for the rest of your life. I feel like.
I think that's good. Adding on to Kate, I also think setting your priorities in middle school because then it just
It's just
we
fun.
all had a priority of like coming to church and that just lasted us to now. And since it was such a big priority then, like
It's just
It's
like
a
no-brainer.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it's It's not an option. It's like, oh, what are you doing Wednesday night? Oh, we have church. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Plan
every
everything
Sunday
around
morning.
church.
Yeah.
Not church
No,
around
literally.
everything.
Not we have church.
Put it in your
like,
calendar.
Yeah.
We get to go to
Like,
church.
Oh,
Yeah.
we have church.
Yeah, I need to rephrase.
So,
that.
speaking of how, so when you bring that up about planning things around church, it's not that you're planning it around church. It's that you decide to make God that priority, and then let's say 90% of the time He'll remain that priority, and the few occasions you miss church, well then you reap the benefit of God being the priority when you actually are here all the time.
Yeah.
And so that's really, really good. What do you guys think is the toughest thing that teenagers face in 2023?
I had comparison, which I feel like a lot of people would agree with, but it's just because like we have social media and like I like and all that, like it's like I feel like however many years ago, like there wasn't as much access to like everybody's life. Like you only saw them like in person and stuff, and then now you see literally like just a highlight reel, so it just makes it all seem like everybody's doing like so fantastic whenever really like that's not like how it really is. So it's hard to get or it's easy to get caught up in just like that spiral of like seeing everybody else's life, and you just kind of have to like, oh wait, this one I pulled up a verse for.
Ooh, we got scripture.
Yeah, it was John 15:19. If this one, like this is a verse that helps with like comparison. If you are of the world would love you as its own, but because you are not of the world, but I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. So it just kind of shows you like there's gonna be people who are against you, but God is with you, and like you're not really supposed to be loved by the world, you're loved by God. So
Yeah, no, I mean that's what Jesus said entirely in that passage. Is, you know, you guys are not going to be like the world. Honestly, because you're with me, the world's going to, in equivalent to the rest of the world, they're going to hate you.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to learn to embrace that. To
not you're gonna be
follow Christ.
different.
Yeah.
That's really good. And that's
What are the other tough things teenagers
That's
face?
almost what I put, but I ended up putting. I'm gonna be a little bold here, just for a second, and say that I think that the biggest thing that teenagers really face is like tragedy. Because think about it, we're only 18 and we've experienced so many once in a lifetime events.
Yeah.
And I just think that like our generation as a whole is so like. We live in one of the most we live in one of the most depressed and anxious and probably traumatized generations in recent times, and like nobody expects anything great from our generation because of all this, because we've leaned on these things for so long. And I think that's why we need God, because we need to lean on God, because if we don't, we're gonna lean on something of the world because we just need something to hold us up.
Yeah.
So
Something's going to fill that space, and you're going to use it to prop you up. Something's going to be a crutch if it's not the Lord holding you up.
I think people are struggling with like right now through like social media and all that. People are showing their highlights. It makes your highs not feel so high because you might be comparing to other people. It makes your lows not feel so low. I feel like sometimes. I think you know it's a blessing in disguise sometimes, and you got to know how to weed through the bad stuff and weed through the good stuff and find what you're actually looking for through social media. You got to know how to see through some of the fake stuff. And some of the facade that people put on.
Yeah.
Like that person's probably not actually like that in real life. Because at the end of the day, they're chasing a bag just like everybody else. Just about. They're getting paid to say that by somebody. So you gotta know what to look for and know who to actually follow.
So what advice would you guys have regarding social media just for teenagers? seeing is that's kind of a recurring theme a lot of times.
I think it's the same thing as
You
like
gotta
in
set
middle
limits
school.
for
Yeah,
yourself.
you gotta keep morals like the same thing. I mean, you gotta keep God first, and you gotta keep whatever. I mean, whatever your morals are, you gotta keep that through social media. Also, you can't let social media read itself in your life and change your morals just because of something you're looking at.
Good.
I just always think like if my pastor saw this, like would I be like
Oh my
embarrassed?
gosh.
Like I'm being
Would
serious.
I be
like,
embarrassed?
it's like would I
Yeah.
post this if I knew that like the people
Yeah.
at my church and like the people that I look up to were gonna see it. Like
Yeah.
and it's like and I don't know, like if you think about it like that and like just don't post things or like if somebody's gonna stalk you to like for a job that you're gonna get in the future, you don't wanna have anything like that on there.
Right.
The
Yeah.
majority of the times people at your church and your pastor probably doesn't know something one way or another.
Just use your phone, Jackson.
I don't have storage.
Oh, you don't? Check his phone.
Man.
Relatable.
So,
Too many deer.
Oh,
That was
the
almost really
light.
bad.
Oh my.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
gosh. So,
Anyways,
back again.
and we're
Wait,
back.
As long
and
as-
action.
The hard part's if they, which yeah, you gotta have a class on the new video.
There's gonna be
Thanks.
like
'Cause
a
it-
ripple of us like
It really is.
in the video.
It really is
Which
hard to
class you go on.
match sound without some sort of like definitive physical action that matches the sound to it. Like yeah, that's a challenge when I edit videos. If you don't have a sound that goes with the movement, because your audio is separate, so it has to match something. But
That's like way over my head. I don't know.
yeah, you just have to see
Yeah.
it. If you saw it,
I can't wait to see this on YouTube. That's all I'm
but
gonna
if you saw it on the computer, it'd make total sense. It'd be that you'd have it.
Well,
figured
yeah,
out.
the dill goes high.
The day.
So,
That makes sense.
The Dale.
Y'all are welcome for that.
so
We're very big.
what if you guys could go back and do it again, high school and middle school? What would you do differently?
Oh shoot. Say that again.
If you could go back and do it all again, what would you do differently?
Open up earlier.
Yeah.
I feel like I've only been going to church for almost 2 years now, like continuously now. I feel like if I would have done that earlier, it probably would have been a lot better.
Well, I've been church my whole life, so like things that I would do differently. That's kind of a hard question to ask me because I feel like all of my decisions were not great, but all of my decisions have led me closer to God. Like bad decisions I made threw me to the ground, and I had nowhere else to look but up. So I think I would have saved myself a lot of heartache if I would have just ran to God, every single day instead of running away. But I'm thankful that for what I've been through that has brought me back to Him even stronger. I don't know if I would have been here without, I might have just totally been coasting along.
What else? Anybody else?
I wish that I don't know, same. I think that everything that I did and I didn't do made me who I am today. So I wouldn't I don't regret doing anything.
Yeah, you don't want to go repeat the bad
Right.
Yeah.
part, because obviously they made you who you are today, but also who you are today is kind of and I don't mean this in a bad way, but you're kind of a scarred person,
Yeah.
and in
Well,
a way,
yeah.
and so they built you. It built you that way. You learn a lot from it, but on the same time, you're like, I sure
Never
wish I
wanna go
wouldn't have
back.
touched
Yeah.
that frying
Yeah.
pan.
Yeah, I don't regret
Yeah.
doing anything, but I do wish that I would have been not as afraid to talk to certain people, just because I don't know, I saw this thing that was you might be looking at someone across the room and you're scared to talk to them, but for them you're that person across the room that
Yeah.
they're scared
Yeah.
to talk to. So it's
Right.
I don't know, I never was shy, I don't think, but I wish that I just wouldn't have been so afraid to talk to certain people.
Yeah.
What else would anybody else done differently?
I would care a whole lot less about what people thought about me.
Yeah.
Because something I came to realize
That's
in
so good.
something I came to realize in
Yeah.
the last 2 months of high school was that we're all getting the same
Who
piece of
gives a
paper.
crap?
Exactly. We're all getting the
And I
same
don't
piece of
talk
paper.
to
It
none of them
doesn't
no more.
exactly. It doesn't matter if I wore Lululemon to school every day. It doesn't matter if I did all the clubs. I'm getting the same piece of paper that the person who sat in the back of the room and wore the clothes from Goodwill and didn't do a single club.
Yeah, no one's
We're
gonna
all getting the
remember
same piece of paper. It doesn't matter anyways.
Yeah.
So why should I care what anybody else thought about me
Yeah.
during high school?
Yeah,
Except for because you're exactly right. All that superficial stuff matters none. It's the stuff that has eternal significance, and it's about the way you followed Christ and what impact you made when it comes to for the kingdom.
Yeah.
I mean, the impact you make. I mean, as great as everybody's successes was and their highlights with sports and making it to state, and and being a part of all these things, it's the internal significance is small,
Yeah.
unless you grow a person, or you create someone who looks up to you, and then they see Jesus in you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're leading them to something that, you're just creating another monster, so to speak. But if you get somebody to see Jesus in you, then therefore you've actually done your job well. But when you react like what Emily's saying, if you react to everything of like, what do people think of me, and you constantly worry, and you're letting that change your behavior day to day, then you kind of come to that point at the end of your senior year where you look back and you're like, that was a bunch of wasted time and effort.
Yeah, it takes you a long time to realize that like
It does.
high school is such a small
Yeah.
portion of your life.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy how much people go all out for high school and stuff. It's just like
That's what. Yeah, I was thinking.
it's like I'm not trying to peak in high school. Like
I was
this is
like-
not it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm graduating
Yeah.
high
Yeah.
school, like
Yeah.
throw the
Yeah.
party or whatever. But like this
Yeah.
is not my peak. Like this is not
Yeah.
this is not the last thing I'm gonna good things I'm gonna do. I
Which
hope
is
anyway.
which is great perspective, because it's not. And then, weirdly enough, middle school students, of course, high school students are watching. I mean, like their world's middle school, which is a 3-year gap where everybody's somewhat miserable because of middle school. Then you get to high school and you're like, oh hey, I got. It's like the bar's raised. I got to be cooler, bigger, badder. Like I need these clothes, these shoes.
I think it seems crazy because you
Yeah.
mature so fast in those years of
Right.
like going through middle school and high school. You mature so fast, so it feels like so much, but it's really not.
Feels
Yeah.
long.
Like looking back on it, I'm like, there's not. Like,
Yeah,
Like,
everyone
I
says
shouldn't have
that
cared about the
huge
stuff I cared about my
importance on
freshman
things
year.
that are
There's
just
no
like
point.
not important, and you don't see it till you graduate, and then you're like, none of that was important.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
seemed
It
so
doesn't matter.
important at the time. Yeah.
It's true.
I don't even remember high school.
That's
Yeah,
so
It was
much
only a
ago.
few months
I
ago.
don't remember middle school. I don't remember freshman year, sophomore year, maybe junior year.
To be fair,
Senior
freshman
I
year was cut
remember,
short due to
Yeah,
COVID, so
That's
Freshman
true.
year was a blast. I don't know about y'all. Didn't
I,
come back
I
from
was
spring
so
break.
tired freshman year.
Longest
COVID
spring break
years.
I just played golf and went to
Let's
Zoom
go.
class. It
I'm
was
so
amazing.
bad.
It was
Zoom
amazing.
class.
I'd run
Honestly,
it
I
back.
was glad.
I was so tan. so tan.
That's
All right,
awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Laid out every day.
kind of changing gears toward our youth group and some questions regarding youth group and things regarding our church. What best helped you guys connect to others in the youth group?
Just kidding. Showing up every single week and being consistent and being very friendly to people.
It helps
Yeah.
a bunch. It really does. It's,
Yeah.
it's something that we harp on a lot, as pastors and of course in small groups, but showing up matters.
Yeah.
Of course, you're not going to connect to people without showing up. And so, what else?
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
So
Just
what helped you connect to others? Like
Okay.
so in like let's even just take it a little bit. So like we've got a pretty good spread of Duncan and Comanche students here, and so Duncan students, what helps you connect to people here at the church? Comanche students, what helps you connect to everybody, and how did you guys navigate this thing of kind of now you're all friends, but how do you navigate that?
I think just being open to like talking to people. I think that's the hard part. Is like coming in, I didn't know anybody besides like obviously Comanche people, but other than that, it was like didn't know any of y'all.
Who are y'all?
Yeah.
See, when I started, there was very little Duncan people here.
Yeah.
So it was just trying to find the right group of friends here to hang out with, and
Everybody from the other school is not a bad
Exactly.
guy.
Yes.
Like
For me, is dropping everything at the door. Like, you
Yeah,
know, we come here and we're all just Christians. You know, we're all
Yeah.
struggling. We're all coming with all of our baggage to this one place that kind of unifies us all. So just not seeing anything but somebody else who's also struggling and trying to, strengthen their walk with Christ.
it's really good.
I think getting here early is a big thing. Like when you get here early,
Can it be?
sit
How
there-
early you
get to
get
sit
here?
there and shit.
She was like,
The great room brought us together.
Yes, the
Yeah.
great
The great
room is legit.
Agreed.
Yeah, the great room.
The
That's
family
honestly
reunion.
That's a good
Yeah.
memory. Is
Yes.
all the times spent.
the great
Great room
room. The great
shenanigans.
room. I miss
I
the great room.
performed in
That's
that.
how I've gotten so close with so many people, and not just like us, but like even
Oh, yeah.
like kids that are like way younger.
Well, the
than
ones
us.
that are
Right.
that you're trying to grow and influence and
Well, and little kids
Well,
in
you
the
get
great
to see
room.
everyone that
Yeah.
comes in the doors too when we're in
My
there.
bad.
Like-
My bad.
I'm sure we can edit that out, Jackson.
Yeah, I hope.
somebody sneezing in the
Yeah.
background.
The camera just shook.
Yeah.
There are
Earthquake on camera 3.
Yeah.
there are in fact men behind both cameras. And they'll get a shout out. And,
Woo!
yeah, look at them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Edit that out.
And we're back.
We have
Action.
We're here in the corner of our youth building with moderate lighting, the best lighting we could come
Best
up
we can
with.
do.
This is not a professional set. That
one's
one's
not even on.
it won't
that
stay
one
charged,
died.
guys.
Oh, okay.
Like
We
4
went
times.
through like 8
We've
batteries
burned
already.
batteries like
It was 12.
Wow.
It's been through 12.
12
Well.
batteries? Like the.
12
what
double
batteries?
A's.
Okay.
Oh.
It doesn't
So,
really matter. Kind of.
Anyway,
Moving on.
Why not?
yeah,
Duracell.
moving on because we have to move
It was
fast.
actually Amazon Basic, Biden. Thank you very
Amazon
much.
So, what are some big positives that have come from being in youth in church? In a way, like, what are the biggest things you've taken from it all these years?
Really just like the connections,
Mm-hmm.
like the friends.
Yeah.
Like they've held, like these people have held me accountable even when I didn't want them to hold me accountable. Like
That's so
like when I
fast.
wanted to go do the stupid things, someone was over my shoulder like, "Are you sure? Come on,
Yeah.
let's go back to church, Emily. Let's not do the stupid
Well,
thing."
Like-
even like me and Brighton talk about all the time, like Tanner, we were like ever since we're like, Tanner's in the back of her head, Tanner's in the back of her head. Like
Tanner
it's
would be
just-
so upset if we did that.
I'm like
you say
Yo,
that
I'm
so
sure-
many
like,
times.
we always
I'm sure
just
y'all
think
had that because I know I do this. Well, I'll ask you
Tanner
what
would
you
be so
did,
mad.
and then I'll just basically kind of prod and grill you until you tell me
Our
some things, and I'm like, okay, you did good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Tanner's like the little angel devil on our shoulder.
What-
We're like,
Yeah.
what should Tanner? We're just
What would
listening to
Tanner
him.
do?
What did you do? And
What
then
would Tanner
obviously,
Somebody used to make us
WWJD.
Wait, what?
WWJD.
Yeah.
what would Tanner do? Hopefully, what Jesus would have done. That's at least my goal.
That's
What
a
Jesus
long-
would have done, but as the best
Long
a youth
bracelet.
pastor can.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
What?
Oh.
But,
Taylor
Like
Swift.
when people do the whole song verses with the first letter. Never mind. Cut
don't.
that out.
That's all
Edit.
TikTok.
somebody out there is gonna know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's not us.
You know, like
Action.
the I and the J, B, C.
I cried
so
like,
long.
are you talking about like when they make the
And I
friendship
cried like a
bracelet?
baby.
First
What
one
is
from
Summer Bridge?
Caesar fruit salad to talk about Taylor Swift.
Guys,
She's on
my
another
goal in
planet.
life is to work with kids. Like they find that stuff funny.
They do.
When I gritty,
Caesar
I'm the
fruit
coolest person in the
salad.
world.
Some kids out there are like couldn't understand it. So
Can we get a fan in here?
It is real.
I know it's hey y'all. Well, this part will be cut out, but we had to turn the AC off to get
That's
the good
what your
audio. So I guess the
Cavs
best thing
are
we
for.
can do is prop that door open and see
Pop that door open.
if it's gonna get a little cooler in here.
I don't know.
I like
Wait,
when
what
you
was
say
the
your double
question?
O's.
What was the
What was
question?
the last question?
The question was,
What about
which
church?
we'll wait just a minute till he gets back.
Why would the
Oh,
church
yeah,
help you?
because I think I had something, but I don't remember.
So how have the
Oh,
things, how have the positives from
connections.
church helped you?
Yes, like older people, like in the church and stuff. Or not older. Cut that out. I didn't mean it like that. I'd say like more like
Wise.
wise.
Maybe.
I don't like that word.
We have like role models within
Hey,
the
older
church.
people are not offended.
No,
They're older than
The fact
you.
that, and we've
People
talked
older
about
than
that
older
our
people.
church has every single part of a family. We have grandparents,
Yeah.
we have adults, we have older youth, younger youth, we all the way down to babies. There's every single there, and a lot of us have helped with in our children's ministry, like. So that people tell you all the time, like I went there to teach them, but they taught me more. Like that's so true. I learned so much from working with kids, and then you go and get to be a part of an adult ministry, and then you learn so much more there too. So we're constantly learning on so many different levels and angles about like how to be a better Christian and person, and that's why this church is the best church ever.
That's good. Yep. Yep.
Word.
Agreed.
See, it's just
Road church.
Road
church,
road church, road church,
Road.
road church,
All right, hey,
road church.
pretty. So this is a good one
Yes, I
for
got
you
it.
guys, and I'm trying to make it quick because I know we got a little bit of time, of course. So you guys don't even know what time it is. But this is a good one for you guys, group. What advice would you give for those who've had a bad experience in church? Maybe it's been some drama, something like that. Bad experience. Maybe things didn't go like what they wanted to in any way. What advice do you have for those students that are dealing with that when it comes to church?
I would say you have to 100% be chasing God. Like, and if you're going to a church where you're chasing the aesthetic of it, and you get there and you're looking for these people that are dressing a certain way and saying certain things and singing certain songs, like that can't be your what's that?
You
End
can
all
be
be
there for
all.
the right
Whatever.
reason.
Can't be
Yeah.
your anchor.
So you
Yeah.
have to go to a church where, God and Jesus are just constantly being poured out, and that's what you're chasing.
Yeah,
we're not
that's
chasing anybody else except for that. It's like goes to the whole audience of one thing. That's the only reason you're supposed to be doing anything in life is for God. So why would you base church off of how you were treated by
other people who are messing up
Right, yeah.
every single day just like you are. It's just because it's a hospital.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's really good.
I think we may be in the greet room talking or whatever, but I know that when we come here and it's worship time, like we're gonna worship. Like we don't bring anything into worship. We don't bring anything to church that shouldn't be here because at the end of the day, we're all here for the same
Except
reason.
just dropping it all at the door. Like
Yeah.
you just have to walk in knowing that everybody else is struggling too.
Almost get smacked in the face like 5
Drum
times.
it at the
Well,
door.
I mean, so
Yeah,
like
sorry,
the drama
sorry.
between, like, not that you guys have ever had any huge drama, but I know that you guys over the last, like, let's say 7 years in youth, obviously there's been things where you weren't happy with everybody, and even in this room.
I think everybody like there's been ups and downs.
How do you navigate? So I mean, what's the biggest thing that helps you
I feel
navigate?
like with the whole like drama thing, even like not just for our church, but just any church, like you just have to remember that like we're literally all humans
Yeah.
and like none of us are
Yeah.
perfect. Like that's why we're here. So it's like even if like you did have a bad experience at church or something, like I'm not just saying like, oh, it's a new day, like try it again, but like you
Right.
never know. Like someone could have just been having a bad day and you
Yeah.
saw that bad day.
You
You
know?
can't let one bad experience define the church as a whole
Yeah.
either.
Yeah. You really have to just like, as someone who's been, like, I've only been coming here for 2 years, and the reason I came to this church was because of bad church experiences and bad people and church drama. So as someone who's been through that, that really is the biggest thing that I've had to come to learn is that people will always, always, always fail you.
Yeah.
It does not matter. God will never fail you, but people always will.
Right.
So you really can't let like one person or one church's misrepresentation of Jesus and of church and of God
Yeah.
define your whole religious experience.
Yeah.
You really just have to be like, you know what? It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
gonna
gotta
find
be
just
at church.
like I just have to find somewhere that I connect and I fit in. It doesn't matter if I
Well,
didn't fit in at this church or this church or this church. I'm gonna find one that I
And
fit
I
in.
have, read before if the physical church was gone, would people still know you're a Christian?
Yeah.
So like you can't attach your church to you in your walk
That's what
with
people
Christ.
say. Like it's a relationship over like a religion. Like it's you have to put it. It's like not about the people. It's about God.
Yeah.
So.
Coming off of what Emily said with bad church experiences, coming from a church that split and had a youth group of 5, coming here was a reality check.
How did it
Yeah.
split? Like 2.5, 2.5.
Like we actually all left.
Put that in.
We're definitely leaving that in.
Yeah.
But
See, that's a graduate level math skill.
We
Yeah,
can do math
that's
here.
really good.
We can
Duncan
do
math.
That's
Yep.
Duncan math right
It's
there.
not conventional.
Yeah.
But coming here, I was like, oh, this is just gonna be another church that I got gone to, and then I felt family here. I walked in and I was immediately greeted, and then you showed me around, and other students showed me around and took me under their wing.
That really is exactly like
Yeah.
how my story, because my story happened, not to go into the whole thing, but when I was really little, we came to this church. My whole family was super involved, and then drama happened, and we left. And I mean, we church hopped from when I was like 4 years old up until I made the decision to come here on my own at 16 because I was invited by someone, and I was like, you know what, I really liked it there. I'm gonna come back, and now my whole family's reintegrated in here after being at like maybe 5 different churches.
Yeah.
Throughout
And
my
I
whole
think
life. at
what's
this
so
point.
good is because, we talked about like us all being from different places, because this is not just a one city church.
Mhm.
Like there's so many different people here. We've got, lawyers and doctors, and we have farmers, so there's just, it's just such a big pool
Broad
of people.
spectrum.
Mhm.
So it's not hard to come in here, and if you really want to get involved and find your people, it's not hard.
Very, very
You
good.
just gotta do it.
Very good. So spiritual questions here for you. Where do you think you guys would be without your relationship with God? Like being honest, what would you have? Which, I mean, you can honestly be as honest as you can be. Where would you be without your relationship with God?
Hell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Me and Emily both.
We
were
said
like,
dead.
We said dead.
We
Like
said
actually.
that, like 100%, like a huge part. I'm not even joking because a huge part of my
Dollar
testimony
General.
is
I'd still be alive. I could be. Yeah, smoking my dollars.
Smoking. Gentleman's Jack on tap. Tap.
No,
That's where I would be
so-
without
That's
your
true, though.
Yeah.
100%.
Taylor
That's
Swift.
like a
Oh.
huge
Addict.
part of my testimony is
Right.
struggling with comparison that led me into just these super bad, like a really bad relationship with food and a bunch of eating issues. And like genuinely, when I say that I probably would have been dead without a because it's only by the grace and the love of God that like I was able to come out of those things alive. I truly believe that like I really just would like wither away.
Yeah, and I've said like
100%.
in my testimony, even I've said like I don't know if I would be alive because I've seen people in a similar like family situation as me who like handled things like not well at all, and just like the things that I've like I don't know. I can't go into my whole testimony, but just like the things that like I've seen and had to like go through, it just I don't think like there's any way I'd be okay without God. And even I've had counselors and like mentors like tell me like no other kid in your situation would be like where you are, like it's God.
So you
And
have
it's
something
true.
different.
Yeah.
Well, that's honestly like it's what life would be like without having God and without having the Holy Spirit. I mean, and so until you kind of mature in what it's like to be a follower of Christ and have the Holy Spirit, you almost don't know the Holy Spirit's working with you and for you. And as you mature, you kind of learn to discern the difference. But it's true. I mean, like where would life be without God? I mean, it's almost like in some ways, it's like life would look better on the surface in some way because you'd go chase something, you probably would have got it.
Yeah.
Like I might have gotten something I wanted.
It'd
but
be a
it's not.
continuous chase. It's
Like
like hamster on a wheel.
Like I might actually
The next
be,
thing.
I might actually be richer. I might actually be more popular.
Would
I
I
might
even
actually,
be happy?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
right.
Yeah.
I might actually have the boyfriend girlfriend, but would it actually? I mean, obviously, it's not God's
Well, and that's
will.
reality, and
Right.
every person in this room has done that.
Yeah.
We've all, I mean, nobody here has just
No, none of us have coasted.
walked down
Yeah.
that narrow
Yeah.
road
Yeah.
our
That's
entire
right.
life.
Yeah. Like we've all tested.
The wide highway looked pretty good there for a while until I ended up in the ditch.
We've taken some rides sideways once or twice. We ended up back on the highway.
Yeah.
We ended up back on the highway.
Then we got back on the narrow hiking trail.
Couple wrong turns, but we got back.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're like shouting to each other.
Guys,
Yeah.
throw out.
Wait for me.
The railroad's called on a boat. I was like,
I thought you were talking about bread
We're
girls.
talking about highways. Where did the boat come from?
Yeah, where did the boat?
Well, you know, when you're
The
going
life
to go
boat.
down the
The
road,
life
it just falls off.
there's also an ocean next to the highway.
Oh, we're not going to one of
It's
the
one of those
big highways in
California-
the movies.
Use your imagination, guys.
But no, we're hiking trails, so.
It was the
We
hiking trail.
went from
and
hiking
on the
trail
left
to
side.
highway to
Guys,
boat.
come on.
Cut.
Great action.
Your brain is
All right. So,
like that.
what advice?
Yeah.
What advice would you give someone? We're kind of trying to wrap up. We got time a little bit though, but we got time for these next few questions.
Dude,
What?
it's like, just come on, let's.
Well, no, it's good. I'm just trying to make sure you guys.
Oh my gosh, okay. Whoa.
I didn't.
I hope the mic did not pick that
That's
up.
like
Moving
Joanne's like lady, when she's like, we'll circle back to that.
Yeah.
We'll circle back.
Oh, yeah.
We'll circle back.
On the news, yeah.
Yeah, that's what she
But
does.
when
That's
they
her,
secretary
her
of
former press secretary before she.
I think we should
got,
just keep this in.
before he got the one that's worse than she
Yeah,
was.
she's so
This should
bad.
stay in for YouTube.
So anyway.
And actually, don't get taken down.
My
Time for
pronoun.
Tanner's politics.
You
Light bag.
Oh, it's okay.
That's everybody
It's
get phone.
okay.
Everyone gets
What?
flashlights out.
Flashlights on your
They
face.
can duct tape them all on there.
I can just put new batteries in it.
I think
Yeah,
we'll
you-
do
Oh
it.
yeah, put new batteries.
Do you
We'll
want
take
the
a break. Can
batteries
we
now?
take
We'll
a,
see.
like,
Yeah, let's
5
take a-
minute
let's take a
break?
break.
Yeah, can I go
Five
get it? Okay,
Just
can I get
pause
another
the
video?
video.
Got a new drink.
All right.
Another shot of catalyst.
Yeah, shut up. Take a pause. I'm gonna pause just like Ben Shapiro. Like he'll just stop talking in the middle.
Take a pause.
We're
Everybody
taking-
remember to
We're
project.
gonna talk
the
about
windows.
whatchamacallit mattresses.
Out loud.
They're the best mattresses I've ever had. I have
Ad
one.
break. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
never had a mattress like that before.
We could get paid for this.
We really should.
Like,
I forget we're actually doing this right now. So.
yeah.
How many views do you think
You
this
know, I know.
YouTube video will get actually?
I hope a lot.
They get. It's likely to really get about 100 and something, which is good.
Hey, we're
It'll
I
get
know
at
we're
least
all gonna
10
view it, so
views.
you gotta
Oh,
be.
assuming everybody
we
watches
wanna-
it.
Well, y'all honestly,
It'll get at least
Pump
10.
the views. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna shoot.
pump the views up. Just honestly, it's
Pump
the
on
it.
more views you get, the more views you
And
get.
like it.
It's like
Smash that like
you
button.
just rigged the
Oh my God.
algorithm.
Smash make sure to smash that like button.
Oh my goodness.
Here's the notification bell.
Alright, we're getting there.
We need a lot more subscribers.
Put the
Oh,
noties
okay.
on.
Dang it.
Yeah,
I would not watch this video if I saw that.
So
Well, that's why you put that at the very
That's
end.
why
That was
midway
the ads
through.
in the video. I'm trying to
okay, so back to some questions. So what advice would you give to someone your age who's questioning whether they should go to church?
Just try it.
Yes.
Just try it.
Just give it just give it a month.
What do you have to lose?
And if you just give it a month, then at the end of it, if you still don't think that religion is for you, then all you really lost
Go
is
back
a
to
month.
nothing. Yeah.
You just go back to nothing. But even if you feel like the slightest bit better at the end of that month, keep going because it
Yeah.
gets better.
Yes.
I promise.
I heard that one time,
I would-
and it was like, whenever we all die and stuff, and like, this all ends one day, like I, what was it? It was
It's
something
either
that was
it's
like,
if
If
I'm
it's
if
a
I'm
lie,
if
then
I'm
all you
right,
lost.
yeah, if you were
yeah,
right,
if we're
then
right,
then all I wasted was
Yes.
my lifetime.
Yes.
But if I was
Be
right, then you wasted
Lost
eternity.
everything.
Yeah.
I would say, on top of, like, just going to church, like, you have got to be involved in the body for the body to work with you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's not
So you can't just go and look, but go and get involved, because that is where you're going to build personal connections. That's where humans thrive on, personal connections. And once you get those personal connections, it's going to keep you coming back. Because I know, did I come every single week for God? Yes. Did I also come because Kinley was coming? Also,
Absolutely.
yes.
Yeah.
So,
Chick-fil-A.
like,
It's our only way to communicate when we were 6th graders.
No, I mean,
back when we didn't have phones,
we had to show up to church.
but that's the reality of people is like, yeah, I'm coming because I want to be in the presence of God, and I'm coming to honor God.
Yeah.
But also, I love being around the people at the church.
Yeah.
Like it's because it's a family and it's friends, and and honestly that shows you the importance of like you show up and I think Bubba's going to be here and Bubba's not here. Well, then it kind of hurts.
Devastating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
devastating.
devastating.
Like
It does.
Ruins my
Tears.
day.
Literal
Yeah.
tears.
Ruins my day for a little
Yeah.
bit.
because I really thought like
No,
that's
it's fine,
what I was
guys.
going to get.
Just for a little.
So it matters a lot
Sorry,
if you're
guys.
here. And so girls, let's go with you. Kind of finishing this out. Give the best advice you have for the girls watching. What's some good advice girls need to hear?
girls are mean and boys are dumb. Like that's it. It's
Well,
really
boys
that
came
simple.
back from
It's
junior.
that
Main
simple.
target.
Yeah.
As a man,
No,
I can't say
really.
boys are dumb.
It's
Yeah.
really that simple
What
because
if we
it's
say
like
something so good?
No
He
problem.
says he's
Yeah.
always lying. He doesn't actually love you.
gotta read my notes real quick because I
Oh,
wrote
wait,
stuff down for
about
this.
girls
So
one.
Gina just completely.
And then we said, like, Jesus is good.
You just ruined the audio right there.
Girls are rude.
Girls are mean.
Men
the boy
are
is
liars.
lying to you, and Jesus never fails.
Basically, just guard
Yeah.
your heart.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Going back to like the talking about churches burning you, people are always gonna fail you.
Yeah.
So don't let some fake friend or crappy boyfriend, ruin your day.
Because there's
Wait,
solidarity at the foot of the cross.
Emily,
There's
don't
solidarity at
preach.
the foot of the
I
cross.
lived this, so you don't have to. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
I
That's
just
good
say,
advice.
like, be
yeah.
yourself,
I've been
honestly.
ran out of
That
whole
is
entire
good.
schools.
That's my best advice. Just be yourself.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I said. Holding true to who you are, because everybody knows how easy it is to get wrapped up in the world. Because there's so many things that look better.
Yeah.
Knowing in your head that if you, we don't want to wear the Lululemon or whatever, but yeah, it will help you out, okay, in certain situations. But knowing that that's not going to be a continual thing, like for your whole life, Lululemon is not going to get you everywhere.
This video is not sponsored.
If it wants to be, it can be.
Yes.
But if y'all
Give us a call.
But
then we will change that.
We have brought your name up a lot.
No, but
Oh my god.
just kind of like gone along with whatever they said and everything. It's just I feel like it's just like being the type of person you want to attract. Like the type of people that you want to be around, you need to be that person too. Because you can't you can't expect to attract like good people, godly people if you're not living that way.
You can't complain about fake people if you're being a fake person.
That's so
100%,
facts.
yeah.
Be the person.
That's so
Preach.
facts.
You're like, I'm tired of fake people when
Can you imagine
Go
whenever we
hypocrites.
watch
When
this
they're
one
saying
day
the same
when
thing
we're
about
like,
It's just gonna be Kate saying
That's
that's
fact. Go for sure.
Fact.
What are you saying?
What are
Like,
they?
come on.
Okay,
Sure,
so
sure,
facts.
Like the word show.
All right,
That's so facts.
Boys.
So real.
boys,
Yes.
what advice do you guys have for the other boys?
They're like,
Don't
I said it earlier. I don't remember what I said.
Don't be afraid to open up.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay,
No, but
they're
they're
not- they're not
Yeah,
gonna
it's like
roast us.
don't let
Okay,
your
yeah, they're
ego get in front of like your relationship.
Yes.
with God.
Okay,
Like,
that
I
was
feel
so good.
shoot, what'd you say?
I feel like a lot of
What's
guys
your
come to
ego
church and I'm like, I even see it like with some
That's
of the
so
guys that
facts.
come right now.
Oh my gosh. Stop with the that's so,
So
fast.
real.
I love that.
All right, Kate, go.
That's so
And
good for a
I
guy.
think like coming into church, I came in and you pull it up, you see it as a guy. You have those guys that stand in the back of service.
Yeah.
Oh my
Way
gosh,
too
yes,
cool for
girls.
church.
I was one of them.
Way too cool to clap their
Any
hands,
boys
move around.
watching this?
And then eventually, I just flip the switch. Like, I don't care what. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go stand up front, and people are staring at the back of my head and being like, "Why is this big dude up here dancing?" Like, I don't care anymore. Like, I'm here for God. I'm not here to impress people. And I feel like if guys specifically, because girls don't struggle with that. Girls, I feel like girls get in their little groups and they have dance parties and whatever.
Yeah.
Like, why can't
Yeah.
the guys do that? Like,
I
guys do not struggle
Like,
with
this
What
that.
I'm hearing is tomorrow night we're just gonna.
It's gonna be a dance party.
Dance party.
Dance party, front
You guys
right.
can
Be
join our
ready,
dance
guys.
party.
only.
Join our
Guys
dance
only.
party.
Y'all just got them called
Did they
stupid liars. No girls allowed.
I'm not
No
saying
girls.
I'm gonna stand on that side.
Yes.
We're gonna
Okay,
Boys
have
on the right.
Burger
girls
Worst
on the
thing.
The
left.
bad ones. This is like Gabby Barrett. Gabby Barrett's one of the good ones, right?
Yeah.
That's
We said boys.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
miss the dance
is
party.
that
Girls on the
Gabby
side,
Barrett?
guys on that side.
Some boys.
Segregation.
That's a good song.
Anyways,
Ungodly boys are
I
dumb.
just think guys
Some
should leave their
Christian
ego at the door. And
No,
not
yeah,
feel
Christian.
afraid to just like open
Godly
up.
men.
Faith's got an answer, so we're gonna let him
I
go.
think it's just like just leave your ego.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid
Yeah.
to open up. Don't think you're too manly, too bold.
Ask for help.
Because
I'm
that
not
is
helping
so
you.
good
That is
because girls see that too. Not that you're at church looking for a girlfriend, but that's the number one thing I noticed. Like, which boy
Okay.
here is worshiping?
Egos.
Which boy has a huge ego and it's like, like I love looking to the left and seeing the 13-year-olds that are dating and the guys sitting there like,
Holding
not
hands during
attractive.
worship.
Yeah.
And I think that
Cut that out, actually.
I think girls gave relationship advice, so I think I might as well. So
Yeah.
I think for boys
It's important.
it's important to be to find somebody in church. I
Yeah.
think it's hard
Yeah.
sometimes just because it's relationships are a touchy subject with a lot of people, and I think it's really hard just because it's hard to find people inside church that you actually like, and it's hard to open up to somebody like that. But I feel like once you do it, it's very good.
Because basically we're all dumb.
Well, I mean, like,
Yeah.
so for guys,
Pretty much.
one of the things is like, you find somebody who's in church because, like, you're gonna have to learn how to value yourself plus value women.
Yeah.
And then the reality is like, this is not taking shots at any of you girls here, but there's a lot of girls who really haven't discovered how to value themselves.
Yeah.
And
So
you,
much.
and in a way, as a man, you have to push through that and see, like, she's not valuing herself. I need to find someone who values herself, so because I value what God's placed value on her life, and that's a challenge everybody has to navigate. And so, yeah, you just have to find somebody who's in church.
You gotta find somebody that values themselves and also values God.
Yeah.
You gotta find somebody that's putting God before themselves and
Right.
Or
before
anything
you.
else.
And before you. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, like in a relationship,
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna put God over anybody else
Yeah.
in my life because at the end of the day, I mean,
Yeah.
God's number one over
Well,
anything
yeah.
and everything.
One of the indicators you'll see, I think, is, you'll see a girl or a guy who, like, let's say they do some things, they're in a way they're like giving their value or their whatever, they're kind of show off and get some attention or whatever. Is it's showing that they have a real immaturity there.
Yeah.
As that they're not in the right place with the Lord, they're missing something in a way. Not that everybody's not being guilty of that, but it's really showing something on the inside, showing a heart. And what it shows is that, in a way, it's showing that if they can't learn to value themselves in some ways and value the relationship with God, it's showing that their true focus is themselves. That the reality is they're selfish, and their real God sometimes is not God; it's themselves.
Yeah.
And,
One last thing for me, and it's just like if you're looking for a relationship, find somebody that not only grows you, but also grows your relationship with God.
Yeah.
I mean, if you find
Yeah.
two people that are both in church and you're both growing each other and growing yourself with
Right.
God,
Well, you can just think about how difficult it is to navigate life by yourself without somebody like God. Like, trying to be a companion for somebody else and carrying their burdens too. Like, you're walking through life together. Like, why would you not want God involved in that equation? Like, it just made it 20 times harder.
Some of the best,
It's hard
like
enough
some of the
with God.
best advice I've ever heard is just run after Jesus 100%, and then one day
The triangle.
you'll look to the side and you'll see
The
someone
triangle.
chasing them.
No,
God
it's
is
right.
the top. You're
Exactly.
each corner. The closer you get to God, the closer you get to
Well,
each
the
other.
way Emily's way she's saying it is great, because that's the way someone communicates to me is like, you imagine that you're someone and you're running a race, and you're able to run the race and you're trying to get better every day, and you need someone who's also able to run the race you run.
Yeah.
Like you,
And
you-
not drag it down.
and not
Yeah.
drag it down.
Not
Yeah,
slow you down.
Yes.
because you're trying to pace yourself, you're trying to get better, and they can't be pulling you back. And
No,
you're
you can't see the finish line if you're looking
and it's not your job to pull them forward, so they need to be in the same relationship with God you are in a way. And when you run together, both people are going to make the time better.
Well, then you push each
Right.
other.
Yeah, you're pushing each
Are
other.
you pushing each
You may
other?
not be at the same parts of the race. I mean, obviously, everybody's
Yeah.
different. But if you're both at the end of the day, I mean, if God's number one in your relationship,
Yes.
that's all you need.
That's right. Yeah, because
You're gonna be
the idea is to be
Giving
pushing someone.
relationship advice out here like we're married.
Yeah, pretty much.
Myself listening, I'm like, I'm gonna listen to
Well,
this.
Receiving.
Yeah.
I'm on the receiving.
We'll come back.
I think
When you're
one of us
married,
should
well,
say
basically,
most
my
I was like,
advice
have
as
you
a
ever
one
read
married
that? Like,
person
so
cool.
is you'll come back and you'll be like, I don't know a lot. I just
We should all
I'm
come
Trust
gonna
back.
y'all.
watch
Or
this
we're
show
gonna
for
watch
a couple months, to
Can
be
we have
honest.
like a youth like a 10
friends
year,
reunion.
20 year like
Like
anniversary and then
Facts.
50 year anniversary?
Facts.
That's so fast.
So for the 2023 seniors, we need to have like a
2023
Because
receiving.
it's
have cookies to say that's so fast.
Can we
We didn't have any
these
stupid
50
words
Because
like
it's not,
that's
we
bad.
have to.
They're fun, dude.
And can it be like we do
Yeah.
these questions like kind of like
Might as well
later
do it
and
every
it's like
summer, like
keeping it
every
more
reunion.
See the difference?
I think we should do it because it's going to be like freshman year. How has our
That's
youth
fine.
experience affected us through our freshman year?
Just keep
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah.
as like a crew that does videos.
Yes.
All right, let's close it out. Let's
like the elite crew.
let's
We're the best. Yeah, basically.
let's give some things. So let's say for you, what has not necessarily, don't just say church, like what's been a real thing that's helped you grow in God the most? Like, is it worship, small groups, personal devotion time? What really helps you grow? Camp, something like that. Like in a way, like a moment at the altar. What's the thing that helps you grow in God the most?
I think being let in so early made it so I could open up so much earlier.
Yeah.
And then obviously just like the relationships that I made with not only the people sitting here, but the people that are behind the cameras and
Yeah.
obviously you
Yeah.
and other pastors. I think that the relationships that I made with the leaders that are around here is something that it's definitely
Yeah.
helped. I mean, like the breakfasts, the Fridays before football games, like we've done a lot then. And
Yeah, man, I love this.
I love those. Those are my favorite.
I love those moments.
Hanging out with the
I
boys.
think that's just been it's been a huge impact on my life. It's something that you don't get a lot of nowadays with like being able to go with somebody that's they're also their first thing in life is God. And I think when you have somebody that you can go to and talk like that, when their first thing is also God, I think the advice is a lot different than going to somebody that's maybe that God isn't their first thing.
Yes, I agree.
I definitely think
Faith-based
people
advice.
are-
Yes, it's the best advice.
I think that I mean the fun trips like Frontier City and then like campfire, like our bonfire little nights or whatever, like that's like so much fun and I feel like that's what's made me like super close to everyone here and that's why I'm able to have like such a good relationship with everyone and like have like a godly relationship with y'all. And I feel like it's not just like showing up to church and talking about God, but like
No.
having strong like
It's-
relationships with y'all. And
It's like being able to be that person that you can talk to and cry to. Like we're not just friends here. Like we're friends outside, and I know like maybe I've been able to help other people here, but I have been able to seek like so much from everybody here that when I've had issues myself, like it just don't make you feel like you're going through it by yourself.
Well, I think that's one of the things that's unique. Just not that every group doesn't have this, and there's not other kids in our group that do, but unique with you guys' class is that you guys are all, everybody cares about each other in a way, loves each other like God says to, and we're accepting of each other even when we make mistakes.
Yeah.
And everybody knows, none of us have been perfect, and we make mistakes, but we've always been through this whole thing together, which has been like really one of the biggest things that the scripture tells is like y'all be united, accept everybody and show Christ's love. And so that's one of the things that's been really great with you guys, and that's why there's a bunch of people in the video here today. And so closing it out, what would you say you're looking forward to in college the most? What do you think is going to be your favorite coming up? What are you nervous about? What are you looking forward to?
I guess the thing I'm looking for is finding another group like this. I hope.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I hope I can just like seamlessly like go into like another group that's just like this. I hope.
So my
Fingers crossed.
I think that's the bigger cross, but obviously if not, I guess I'm gonna have to build my own friend group.
No, you just give it time and you just start
It's just keeping my morals straight. And I mean, like I know what I want through college and I know what I want, and pray for me through fall camp.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, me too.
When you guys are going to class, just know I'm probably at football practice or something.
I've got 2 days for 2 weeks until school starts.
Same here, bud.
We'll be praying for y'all.
Mhm.
Yeah. We'll do like youth group FaceTimes
Yeah.
every
You
night. Like,
guys-
how are y'all? Are y'all still alive?
When you guys are waking up at 9:30 for your class, just know that like.
I've been awake.
Kate's been
Guys,
awake for 6 hours.
I've been up
already.
since 4:30.
Right.
So just
That's
know that
good.
and
Wait,
keep some prayers.
When's your earliest?
I would say
My earliest class is like 8.
Mine's
Those
8:30.
8 o'clock
Mine's
classes
8:30.
My earliest class
Y'all
is like
are
9:30.
y'all are gonna learn.
I'm 9:30 on
To learn.
Tuesdays, Thursdays,
8 o'clock
Thursdays,
classes are tough.
I
My
got
8 o'clock
like
class is a lab. I don't
I
know.
like
Eight o'clock
That's
class.
so bad.
8 o'clock sounds like, oh, I went to high school by 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it's
not.
not.
No.
It
It's
sounds so
different.
easy.
I have
It's
like
different.
9:30 and then some 10:30s.
My earliest class is like 11.
You're already up at 4:30.
That's what I was saying. I was
8
like,
o'clock
I just
class.
get my whole day done.
But I'm done by 12.
That is
So-
true.
so much
Yeah,
It's
y'all
almost
have-
like it's
that makes sense for
like
you.
when it comes to 8 o'clock, it's like it's almost the quality of what they're pushing at you by 8 o'clock in the morning is so much higher and harder than what you did at high school, where
Good thing
you're
I've
like,
already been working out.
whoa, I actually need to be awake
Yeah.
by 8.
Awake.
Not awake. All right, so
Wait, what was?
I was
what did you
gonna
just ask?
say
'Cause I have something
that my
to say.
biggest
Yeah, I have something
fear
to say too.
Okay,
has now
yes.
turned into my biggest
Oh,
thing I'm excited about, and it was having to find a new church because, like I said, this is the best church ever. Like I've had to go to different other.
this video
Churches.
is sponsored by Ray of Hope
Yes.
Church.
Bro, church.
I have had to go to different churches, and you know it's hard to find a church as alive and thriving as this one, and constantly making that push forward because we do want this to be the best church anywhere. But I have like slowly gotten more and more excited to find a new church that I can integrate myself into.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
be a positive part of that church with a positive, with the same mindset that this church instills in its body.
Yeah.
Going out
Okay.
Going out,
and,
literally.
Yeah, it's fine.
and trying to make that another great church for that community where I am.
Well, you just take these qualities. So finishing this out here, did anybody else have anything else to add? When it comes to, yeah, go.
So I think that like my biggest fear and my biggest excitement are like the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to go onto a campus where
Not as many-
I'm about
there's
to be
just
the
not a lot of
I'm about to be
believers.
the
Yeah.
minority here.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to probably one
Y'all are going to be the
most,
minority everywhere,
Exactly.
just so you know.
I'm
Like,
gonna be in my
because I'm about to
too.
go to probably one of
Yeah.
the most liberal schools in the state, and I'm so nervous about it
Yeah.
because I'm nervous about the influences that are about to be coming in on me.
Yeah.
But I'm also
Test
excited
of
because
faith.
I'm so excited to be the light on that
Yeah.
campus.
Be
If
the
that
So
makes
you
any
can
sense.
change.
yeah,
Like I'm so excited to be there and tell people who
Darkness
probably never
cannot
heard about the
exist
gospel
for
about the
light.
gospel.
That's kind of how like mine was, just like to have people that like not only like I can find other Christians that like there's a bigger amount, like there's more people, so you're gonna find people like
Yeah.
who want the same things as you, and it's just like have people that can pour into you, but also you're gonna be able to pour into so many more people than you were able to just at high school or
Right.
like here at youth. It's just cool.
I'll never
you're
forget.
going to make small relationship amount. Like, it's not like you're witnessing in front of. Sorry, you'll get to go. Just, it's not like you get to kind of maybe worship in front of as many people or be a leader. It's in some ways it's not always that way, but your impact is going to actually affect people's eternities. And
Yeah.
before Gina jumps in, like going into college, just so you guys know, real faith is you're going to be a minority everywhere.
Yeah.
Like if you've made up your mind you're going to truly follow Christ, you're a minority.
Mhm.
Like there's a lot of fake Christians, but those who truly follow Christ, you're a minority. Go, Gina.
Brian had said this like I don't even know how long. This was probably years ago, and I don't even know if you remember this. But it used to be my biggest fear was that like whenever you're in high school, like you imagine it as like a pond, and there's little fish and there's big fish, and of course the big fish have like more influence and like they're more involved. And then whenever like you go to like if you decide to go to college, then you're like at a bigger pond and they're all big fish. And so it's like how do you like separate yourself and like make yourself like how do you put yourself out there? And that was like my biggest fear for the longest time because I was like, well, I'm used to like I'm not saying I had a huge influence at Duncan High School, but like I mean I had a bigger influence than some people, and like I like that. Like I like not being in the spotlight, but I just like being able to
Being a leader.
Yeah, I like being a
Pour
leader.
into people, yeah.
And it like kind of scared me because I was like, well, like I'm just gonna be like another number, but like I think it makes me excited because I'll like find people that are like.
Well, I mean, you gotta go look at Scripture. And Scripture says that you're a city. You're a city on the hill. You're a city on the hill, and you're a salt of the earth. So you're just there for a purpose, and you're doing something that matters.
Living
So-
on purpose.
And it doesn't mean you're gonna reach everybody, but that means there's so many more people to reach. So just reach as many as you can.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna
and it's
you're gonna find friendships that
But
matter.
just knowing
Like,
that
there's
you're
some-
exactly where you are because you're supposed to be exactly where
Yeah,
you
like
are.
there's a reason
Trusting
each of us is
God.
going to the campus we're
Yeah.
going to.
Even though I don't like OU and clearly y'all don't like OSU, but you know.
Really, we're
Whatever.
minorities over here.
Yeah.
You know,
You just feel like I'm pushed to
Yeah,
one
literally.
side.
There's
Yeah.
gonna be people out there.
Now we're separated, y'all for a
It's
reason.
just-
Y'all are
it's
weird.
It's gonna be like the senior video or senior picture we took at the senior luncheon. I'm gonna be cut out.
Yeah, that mic's
How
not
did that
actually on.
happen?
Y'all.
How did
I was the only one cut out.
You got
So,
cut out.
all right,
Get it
I
let's
was the only one.
let's finish this out. Thank you guys so much for being here. We hope that you guys, obviously praying that you guys going into college. Anybody watching this video, we hope that you stayed with it through the whole thing. Lots of advice mixed in. You guys, take this time, use this advice. Share this video, like this video, all this.
Smash
Smash
comment,
that
subscribe.
And
Wait, can we all say that?
Yeah.
Like, comment,
all right,
share.
so closing
Like,
it
comment,
out.
share.
Y'all say it. 3,
Like,
2, 1.
comment, share.
Smash that like button.
All right, thanks everybody.
Make sure to subscribe.
Bye.
Subscribe.
Okay, bye.
Smash it!